Greetings and welcome back to the channel. From the very beginning, during the events of A New Hope, we were introduced to the term Force. The Force is one of the most important elements that surrounds the entire Star Wars story, and we hear about it a lot. We see that the Force can do a variety of things and can offer many different powers. But what exactly is the Force, and how does it work? In order to understand how the Force works, we must explain its origins. Everything started at the Wellspring of Life, a planet located in the deep core of the galaxy. The Wellspring of Life was the homeworld of a sentient, microscopic species called midichlorians. Midichlorians exist inside the cells of every living being, forming a symbiotic relationship with their hosts. The Wellspring of Life is also the planet where the Force was created. The Force exists through the midichlorians, allowing every living being to use it. Every living being has a different amount of midichlorians inside their cells. To estimate the amount of midichlorians someone has, blood tests are used. The higher the midichlorian count someone has, the stronger they are with the Force. But in order for someone to use the Force, it not only requires a high midichlorian count but also a connection with the Force. The deeper you connect to the Force, the stronger you become. If someone has a high midichlorian count, they can connect to the Force more easily. That is the reason why Luke and Rey Skywalker were very strong and had many abilities. They both have a high midichlorian count. Luke was able to sense the droid and repel the blaster bolts in his training, and Rey was able to sense Luke's lightsaber in the castle of Maz Kanata without neither of them having an experience with the Force. Rey also felt something strange when Ben Solo fell to the dark side, when she was young. If people with a high midichlorian count receive training, they become even more powerful with the Force. For example, Luke and Rey Skywalker, after studying Jedi texts and training with Yoda and Leia, they became even stronger and unlocked more abilities. Anakin Skywalker has a higher midichlorians count than Master Yoda, but Yoda was more powerful because he was connected to the Force deeper. That does not mean that someone with a not so high midichlorian count can't connect and use the Force. That is the reason why training is useful. Through training, Force wielders can connect to the Force deeper and unlock more of what the Force could offer to them. Everyone has an equal chance to become strong with the Force despite their M count. That is how Sabine Wren could use the Force. She did not have a high midichlorian count, which is why Ezra and Kanan didn't sense it. But after Ahsoka discovered that and trained her, she was able to use the Force. She was not so powerful because she did not have a lot of training, but she still had powers. Even those who have a very low midichlorian count and do not have the chance to unlock Force abilities could still feel and use the Force very weakly. The most known examples in this category are Maz Kanata, Shava, and Queen Julia of Bardata. As a result, the stronger you are with the Force, the easier you could connect to it, and the more connected you are, the stronger you become. The connection to the Force is not stable. Force wielders do not lose their connection, but sometimes they are connected deeper, and sometimes not. This depends on the emotions that someone has at the moment. If you are concentrated or emotionally charged, your connection will be stronger, and if you are relaxed, your connection will be weaker. For example, Ezra Bridger, during his encounter with the Grand Inquisitor on the Republic's base on Anaxes, was surrounded by fear. He connected deeper to the Force, using the dark side, and he controlled the Fernox. But after this, he lost his connection because during this event he had lost himself, and he did not act willingly. This also happened to Sabine Wren. She was having a hard time using the Force, but during the Battle of Peridia when she and her team were in danger, she made a deeper connection with the Force. She fought, and she was able to lift Ezra up to enter the Chimera, Thrawn's ship. When Kanan Jarrus lost his sight, he learned how to connect deeper to the Force. As a result, he could understand everything around him, even things that cannot be seen. This is the reason why meditation was a very helpful and important technique. Through meditation, the Jedi learned how to maintain their concentration. As a result, they enhanced their connection with the Force even more. The more connected someone is with the Force, the more abilities he can unlock. The abilities someone unlocks depend on how he uses the Force. Those who cut themselves away from the Force lose their connection, and they must reclaim it to unlock their abilities again. This thing happened to Sir Juanda after the events of Order 66 and to Luke Skywalker when he became a hermit in Octu. There were also specific places or objects such as Jedi and Sith temples, holocrons, planets, and more. Force users could interact with these things and do a variety of things. These places are called vergences or Force nexus. The Force can offer many abilities to a living being, and someone can use them for various reasons. We will explain Force abilities in depth in a future video for further explanation. There exist a lot of religions associated with the Force. A religion is considered the belief in a specific ideology that someone forms around a specific thing. Those who use it for good use the light side of the Force. The light side is aligned with calmness, peace, and passiveness and is used only for knowledge and defense. The most known religion of the light side of the Force is the Jedi Order. The light side of the Force is also known as Ashla. On the other hand, those who use the Force to spread evil use the dark side of the Force. To tap into the power of the dark side was to indulge in raw emotions such as passion, anger, and hatred. The dark side of the Force is also known as Bogan. The most known religion of the dark side of the Force is the Sith. There were also those who belonged in between the light and the dark side of the Force. The most known Force users in this category are Baylan Skoll, his apprentice Shin-Hati, and Dogon Gera. The representation of this aspect of the Force was Bendu, a male Force-sensitive entity who resided on the remote planet of Atollon and claimed to represent the center of the Force, between the light side and the dark side. The most known factions of these category are the Night Sisters, the Knights of Ren and more. There were more religions related to the Force. All these groups have different perspective upon the Force and they choose to use its powers differently. That is why they were different from each other. They considered religions and not churches because they embrace and expand their point of view. A church is the people that believe in a religion and the point of view that they have on this religion. All these religions have the Force as their deity. Some perspectives have different names to describe the Force. This happened because they do not that it is the same thing or if they learned that they preferred to keep the same name. For example, the witches of Brendok called the Force, Thread, and the Knights of Ren called it the Shadow. The most known examples of Force religions were the Jedi, the Sith, the Night Sisters, the Knights of Ren, the Zepho Sages, and more, and the most known churches were the Church of the Force and the Cult of the Sith. The Force, despite all the knowledge we have, still remains a mystery, and we will continue to discover its abilities and its aspects. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe, like this video, hit the notifications bell, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Until the next video, may the Force be with you.